I gave a little pump with that thrust, triggering this big
Hello,
ol'
hello.
hello. How are you?
Yay. Okay, cool. Awesome. I was trying to figure out why my microphone wasn't working.
Yeah, all good. I'm glad you figured it out. How are you?
Doing fine. How are you?
Good. Go ahead and speak again for me, please.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I'm just getting your
How are you
volume
today?
balanced. All right, cool. We're good.
Let me see if I can turn your volume higher.
Yeah, go for it.
Apparently not.
You should be able to adjust it on Discord by
Yeah.
right
Well,
clicking.
user volume, you're already all the way up.
Oh, okay. I'm
Damn.
sorry.
Okay, that's fine. It's just my laptop speakers are pretty quiet for some
Gotcha.
reason.
Headbuds, earbuds,
Yeah, I might grab a set of headphones.
might be the way to go. Um, you're not doing golf, right? This year?
Sorry, let me say that again.
I was saying you're not doing golf, right?
Unfortunately, no. I really
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. We'll miss you. Hey, Sal.
All right.
Maybe. Salvador, you're muted. Just so you know. Hello.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh,
Any
Hello.
hello. How's it going?
Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me okay, Boomy?
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. Awesome.
Um, Sal, can you speak for me? I just want to balance you.
Hello. It's
Excellent.
me. I'm here. I'm being
Question
balanced.
question for you, Sal. You
Yes.
certainly don't have to answer if it's a little too off topic and or personal. Have you been a long time Mabi Nagi player?
Oh, dude, yeah, I've been playing since like G4.
I I asked that because I have two computers in my
Yeah,
workspace, and Alex was uses the other one to game sometimes, and she saw you on
yeah,
playing it, and she's an old
yeah.
head. I've never played, but she
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
I'm an old head too. I've been playing for years.
yeah, she's been playing for like
Yeah,
super long time, and she was like,
yeah.
maybe I know him, like his online persona in that game. But I was like, you should
Probably.
go ask him. And she was like, I don't know if I know him that like well enough to be able to reach out
Hmm.
and ask. So I figured I would do that because I don't have as much shame. Um,
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm an old head too. I've been around for a really long time.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see if you recognize her. Maybe I'll go poke her at some point. I'll send her a message or something. See if she comes down.
Mm.
That way you can answer because I don't know what G4 means at all. Like you guys are speaking in a whole different language. Oh,
Yeah,
Alex
yeah.
says she's been playing since G3. Alex, you could type in chat. You talk to Sal via chat. She's like yelling down at me.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going? Hello.
It is going pretty good. Just got myself a cup of tea ready to go.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Seems like a good time. All right, let me go ahead and pull up the footage. We can watch whatever. I was just mostly kind of self indulging on my favorite set of my armored fight from Adult Swim.
Yeah,
Um, so,
yeah.
so
Hell yeah.
let's head to fencing things.
Done.
What y'all want to watch?
Um, so there's obviously Adult Swim fights that would be fun to pick through. I
Mm-hmm.
have some fights with Robert and some fights with Sal. And then are you doing? Yeah, you are doing live stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I'm live.
like I just
Sorry,
can't see
everybody
your
here. I'm live. Yep.
cool. I just can't see your screen. Um, we also had Rapier Champs for East Kingdom if you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to pick through that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do both.
Those are my relevant things that I've seen.
In Discord, I went ahead and went live so that you guys can see stuff in real time without the stream delay.
Sick. I see it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd
This
love to
is
watch. I'd love to watch Robert's downfall.
Oh
oh
my God.
Yeah,
That's
watch
that's
me get clowned on by Rowan.
it's okay. We can watch me get clowned on by John. So
Yeah, getting clowned on by John is way harsher. Oh my God. Yeah, man. I had issues
mm-hmm.
uploading to Google Drive, so I don't know if you got my videos.
No worries, all
Boom,
good.
if you check the link I just dropped in the chat, the call chat,
Okay.
Okay.
you can get to that's my fancy pants sorted
Oh, you're done. Yeah,
spreadsheet.
cool. Thank you.
I have
Hold on a second.
I've never uploaded a video to Google Docs. So I just want to say, figuring out how to do that was
Learning
was
curve.
quite the assignment for me.
Yeah, it's bad, and you can't do a batch of them. You have to do them like one at a time.
You just do them one at a time. Yeah.
Do
Oh,
you?
wait, I did
Nightmare.
them all at once.
Yeah, I was like, you can batch. You
Well,
just
I'm
drag
glad
and
your
drop as a
freaking
folder.
system is better than mine, but I tried. My phone just crashed. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
I did it from my phone, so maybe that's why.
Maybe it's not like
Same.
as mobile friendly.
It's
So I
not.
did it from my phone, and I thought it wasn't working at first, but then I saw them like popping in. So I think it just took a while for them. For me,
Robert.
it took a while to upload.
Robert, what
Yes.
the fuck? God damn it.
Yeah, Robert, you work with funny computer jobs, though. I don't. I'm a guy. I know education. That's it.
I got indoctrinated young. I was forced to use Google Docs from middle school on.
Wow.
That is true.
OG
That's like
middle Google Docs.
grew up
Yeah.
with it at a point.
Ooh.
Google Docs didn't
Uh,
exist. It was a mouthful.
John told me not to dagger rush him, so I don't know.
Did I rush me?
No, John told me not to dagger rush him
Oh.
anymore.
Is John
It's
joining
too
us
risky.
tonight? Did you talk to him? Rowan?
He was invited. Or well, I don't know. Yeah, I texted him. Right? Did I text him? Did I forget John?
I don't know.
Sweet little
Oh,
John.
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That was a good one.
They catch the.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
I see. I see. So
Yeah,
you
that's
got
a
him
double
straight down the
hang.
middle. That was pretty.
Oh yeah, you got him right in the middle. He got you like right in the like.
I can't remember. I think this hits just my chain, but like honestly, that would hit me.
Yeah, 100%.
You were so close to blocking this out. Your
Mhm.
sword hand needed to be out half an inch to the outside, and that would have deflected enough blade. Yeah, that was close. You had a beautiful shot. That is you in the corner. You lost Felix. He was there.
Oof.
Robert, tell me, in this fight, how did you feel against John in general, like based on tiredness and did you feel any different from like last year, the last time you fought?
Yeah, I definitely felt like I was doing better than last year. Um, I feel like last year was the first time where I felt like I could kind of go toe to toe with like you and John and Taurus, like all the
Yeah.
top tier folks.
Yeah.
So going into it this year, I guess I kind of wanted to see, like I had the confidence to know that I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a question of whether I would pull it off on the day. And
Right.
I think we ended up like 40-60. I'm happy with how we did.
Good.
Hmm.
I got a very solid showing. I want to nitpick you just a little here, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I still think your dagger goes way too over angled, just like by default, right here. Like when you look at your outside dagger parry, your angle is such that it doesn't funnel to the guard because your tip isn't creating a shape such that the blade funnels to your guard. You are flipping your dagger. You see how it's like near parallel to the floor in this frame.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so easy for people to then disengage down. Although you have some queens kind of keep it in place. I just think that there's a little bit of a, I don't know. I think we could parry, like stop the parry at a slight angle inward, as opposed to going all the
So
way.
you're saying hold it more upright.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you run this
At speed.
not at real time, but just like quarter speed? Yeah, I'm having trouble figuring out whether we're going forward or backward.
Oh yeah. I got you. Here, let me run it at like 25%.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. It's just how much
Yeah,
you
so I'm
bring your
like-
dagger over.
Crossed, and then at the end of that, I'm going forward.
Mhm.
So you're saying as
Yeah,
I go
you see
forward,
that, like,
stop it.
That dagger did the same exact thing again. I'm going backwards right now, and you can see like, so here's your response. This is going forward. Your dagger turns outward, but it keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going because you're trying to find. I think you're instinctually trying to feel blade to blade, so you feel safe, which is good. But I think the better move is to take your fist and punch your hand outward another like 8 inches to be underneath the blade and more vertical in the dagger as opposed to flip downward.
Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah, I
kind of
think you're right.
encouraging his blade down and towards you, potentially.
Yeah, I think I'm afraid of missing the blade. I think that's why I'm seeking for it. But as long as it's high enough, I don't think that's going to happen.
Have you all watched any of this? I've watched none, so this is
I've-
first one for me.
I've watched a few snippets. I haven't done in depth on anything.
I just watched pieces. But I haven't gone like frame by frame yet.
I haven't frame by framed it, but I watched everything that like was uploaded to the doc. So
Nice. That's not
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have not had. Ooh, was
Ugh,
that just
that
a
was a good one.
John stood there and you bunked him? That's pretty. Yeah, fuck John.
Wait, play it again.
Oh,
I think it was
John.
payback for the one like right before that because it looked like John did the same thing to Robert there, like the like direct previous one.
I think your offensive kit, Robert, has become a lot stronger. Like you've really taken to heart the idea of like step explode.
Yeah, it's just like automatic at this point.
That was a double.
I got such a bruise from that one.
Yeah, I believe it.
Did you?
Up in that hip. I feel like he caught that like hip socket on that left side. Maybe a little bit above that.
There was one that hit me like dead on the sternum that I had a bruise for like 5 days.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Good for you.
Builds character.
Yeah. Puts
Yeah,
hair on your
Boomy,
chest.
on what you're saying, I feel like I spent a lot of the last year working on that offensive capability. The what John calls it, I think the heel tap. We called it the stutter step lunge.
Yep.
Making that natural, and then also like the footwork combinations.
Yeah. Oh, it shows definitely. Oh yeah. He predicted that drop. That was pretty
Yeah.
good. I don't know what in your movement showed, like gave the idea, or if it's having book, like where he, like John, like he something about what you did told him you're going to drop sideways. He put his blade where your head was going to be.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Run it back.
That last little bit. Isn't there a hotkey to go backwards a couple of seconds?
Just the back arrow.
Yeah.
Arrow.
No,
Arrows.
that's frame by frame. There's another one that's like 10 seconds.
If you just press the left arrow key,
The left arrow. Yeah.
that'll go 5
like-
seconds.
Less than greater than should be the frame by frame, and then arrow keys should be a few
Oh,
seconds.
arrow key. Got it. Thank you. When you said arrow key. Well,
yeah.
fuck. I don't have an arrow key on my. Okay, well, get fucked me, I guess.
Frame by frame it is.
I was like,
Weird.
I'm just going to hold this frame by frame, I guess. All right.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the times that I get hit, I feel like it's me greeting into measure and then getting punished for it. And I think that's what happens here is I step forward without actually doing anything, and then John just pops me.
Throws.
I admit the extending your blade will also make him more comfortable because he knows where your blade is and he feels like he can grab it.
Yeah, it looked like you tried to cover, but didn't quite stay sticky in the blade enough. We'll let it run at 25. I feel like this is a good speed to understand what's happening.
Nice.
Yeah, fuck John.
Really tricked his dagger. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one, the way I interpret that one is that he thought I was just fainting the arm and didn't
Correct.
have anything to back it out.
Yeah.
And I
Because
said,
initially you were just
Yeah.
farting around with his dagger, and then you finished the shot.
Yeah.
That was like a me shot. You like redoubled into him.
mm,
Nice. Your ability to
Get
flip
the test
4
there.
is gnarly. Because you flip 4 from wherever.
mhm. It's the mobility toolkit, Boomer. It's the
Mhm.
shoulder, the external rotation
Yeah,
that I
the
got
external
from doing
rotation strength. Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
You got him spooked now because now he's responding to those dagger probes way more. Like he's respecting
listening.
that dagger.
Uh-huh.
You see how he's like stepping a little bit.
Mhm.
After just getting hit, he's like, nah, I don't want this anymore.
Never again.
No.
John did say that your foot's open.
Yeah, my foot's always open. I gotta work on that shit.
And it's usually it's just like a weight distribution thing to me.
Mhm.
Um,
We don't, for some reason, in Athamark, no one throws foot shots. Like,
it's pretty regional. Like
people
on
not
steroids, very
throw-
popular.
Leg shots either, or is it just specifically like foot shots?
we really, I don't know, Sal, let me know if I'm wrong here, but I don't think most people throw a lot of leg or foot shots.
No, there were like 2 people. Well, there's like 3, but one of them doesn't live in Ethelmark anymore, and the other two don't really fence much. That's like a Dovik line thing. Like Robert Green used to throw to the foot all the time,
Oh
and
yeah.
Jacob Dunmore throws to the foot all the time. But like now that they're not playing, it's like not. I know I throw for the foot sometimes. Ferruccio will like try to sometimes, but it's not like it's not anything to be like, yeah, this is like a staple for things that we do here.
Right, right.
Right.
I wonder, like the way I've seen it, instead of doing the John style, which you kind of have to be close to the ground for that to work the way he does
Be
it.
small.
That was a kind way to put it.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know how to say it. I can't do that. I can't get so
You gotta be
close
built
to
like
your
a
leg.
Shih Tzu.
But I was thinking both of you have the capacity to like throw center line and let the blade drop in the thigh or right above the knee. Like that particular shot is it's one I can see you guys throwing. All right.
His tip come off?
His pommel came off.
Oh, is that
my
when it
God.
broke?
No, it
Break?
broke later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
I think it broke earlier. I think he was using Alessandro's sword,
Oh,
and the
okay.
pommel wasn't quite right.
that does look like Alessandro's sword.
Okay.
Woo.
I could see
It'd be
that.
so sad if he broke a Tang twice in one day.
For real.
Did he break two swords?
No, I just broke one.
Uh,
His old Darkwood.
Oh, he got the arm on that one. Okay.
Mhm. Watch my feet here. So as I got tired, I started switching to the back foot facing almost directly forward.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think about that?
I like it,
Yeah,
personally. I mean, that's how John and I fight.
I think I
for sure.
prefer that as well.
Mhm.
For sure.
I started
Yeah.
considering it.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Sal.
I was just gonna say I think it's more conducive to just like forward movement, like easier forward movement, right? Because you're not having to twist the leg; you can just step.
Mhm.
I also think you get more launch power. Like I used to think about firing off the back toe. Like basically you have your back foot and you're driving off that ball of the foot and the big toe. And there's a lot of force that comes from there to propel you forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I was watching a video of Tora doing some HEMA tournament, and I watched him do it, and I was like, oh, maybe there's something to this.
Mhm.
I definitely play that way. I think I have a little bit more kick where my heel is inward rotated just a little bit, like 20 degrees, 30 degrees, something like that.
Inwardly rotated?
Yeah, kind of how you are, where it's
Yeah,
like not
I like how
John
perfectly
is.
square. It's got a little bit of cant. It's where you and John
Yeah.
both are.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's the toe is mostly forward, but it just slightly
Yeah,
slightly out instead of fully teed off.
Mhm.
I think I mean, I'm gonna speak in absolutes, but I'm sure there's people will find examples of something else. But the main person I've seen who can really pull off a T pose, like the feet are at right angles from each other, is Duke Miguel from Monsteora. Like he fights at a really high level with a T pose, but for most part, I feel like people have a runner stance, who are very successful.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like the foot straight on or close to straight on is conducive to the kind of like high speed athletic style of fencing that seems to be kind of dominant right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, from here you can really see John's in pretty much the same stance.
Yeah, y'all are pretty mirror image when you're low and ready to throw, like actually trying to duke it out.
That's something I caught myself doing is as I got tired, I would take a more upright stance and then
Yeah.
drop down before lunging.
Very
Me
normal.
too. It's like reduces your movement a lot, unfortunately, but it is common at least.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like it's a big tell if
Yeah.
you like drop down before you lunge.
Because they know when you're about to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, but if you can stay low the whole time, it's optimal.
Oh, not the high waters. Oh man.
Who's wearing pants now?
Yeah, I know. I should have worn jeans.
Yeah.
How about you,
Are you
Sal?
not wearing socks though? Wait a minute.
No, I just wearing
Oh, I see
low
him.
socks.
I see him. I see him. Okay. Judgment passed.
Nah, not wearing socks is not my thing.
Travesty.
Oh, Boomy, you were asking me about Iago Les Pensick. He was the guy that walked past just there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
He's one of the top fencers in Alphamark who's
Nice,
like
nice.
he's like very low profile, but he's super fucking good.
Yeah, he is.
This, I think you're like really surprised, John. It looked like you were kind of like flicking your arm and you turned it into a shot, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
How did Sal? How did you feel from like say Penzik
Nice.
when you were doing those pickups to here?
So I think that so the last time I fought John was we did pickups at Penzik, and I definitely got clowned on. So I definitely did better here.
Oh, okay.
But I still got clowned on. um, I think that John fights in a style that is really really good at just like hard countering like how I fight. Because I like to bomb, and as soon as John gets like dagger control of the blade with dagger or something, it's like it's over for me.
Yeah,
So
he's jumping in.
yeah, so definitely gonna have to do some work with that. But no, I definitely think I did better this time than I did at Pendik. So
Do you think it's just the shot selections where you're doing those nukes from orbit?
yeah, oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Do you think like if you basically tightened up the lunge to half again the same deep lunge,
Mm-hmm.
and then fought off of that as your maximum range, your success rate would go up against him in particular?
I think it might. I think I would also have to rethink a lot of how I move and stuff though, because I fight a lot with that super deep lunge and
Yeah.
like the speed aspect of it. So I'd really have to like recalculate a lot of things in the fight, which isn't bad.
Right.
but,
Right.
you know,
Retool some of it.
so, um, yeah, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of different things this year than I was last year. Like last year, I was super focused on fencing, and then like I got into powerlifting, and I was like, damn, what if I just got real good at lifting heavy circles?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's been like my focus now.
Yeah, I totally.
Dude, I
Agree.
feel like it's made your fencing better though.
Oh yeah.
I think there's like limited return on power lifting to fencing. Pretty hard because there's like a body weight increase that comes with powerlifting.
Right.
Which just objectively you need body weight ratio and you don't need that much power really.
Right. Right.
But
But
when you started working out though, like maybe 3 or 4 months afterwards, you shot up in your fencing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think I'm kind of like I'm just like riding in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I had a really good time at Adult Swim. I think my most challenging fights were like you, John, and then Rowan. Were like my 3 most challenging fights, and I fought a ton of people. So
that's
It was a really good time.
yeah, it was all fun. I thought your fight was very good. It was
Mhm.
it felt more explosive than Penzik when we crossblades.
oh yeah,
And like your
yeah,
timing responses are awesome.
thank
It's
you.
really good.
Yeah, I worked on some like explosiveness and mobility stuff when I was like getting ready to PR. So so I might have incorporated some of that stuff into
Yep.
like fencing.
Yeah, your ability to kind of generate enough power on the redouble.
Yeah.
That sort of, from a deep lunge, that sort of stuff was new to your kit, at least to me.
Yeah.
That's cool. How are you doing your? Are you competing in powerlifting at all?
No, I want to. I was gonna do something in March, but it got canceled. So
Gotcha. You do you hit your 1,000-pound club?
I did, and I was 40 pounds short. I'm so upset.
Oh, you're close.
40. I
Hell
was
yeah,
40 pounds short.
That's nothing.
But I'll
man.
get it
You
next
got this
time.
quick. That's a couple of months
Mhm.
away.
Well, yeah. So that was the first time I had ever like like done any kind of like PR or anything, and like I'd only been deadlifting for like 3 months, and I got to like 385. So
Yeah,
I was really pleased with
Nice.
that.
Damn,
Well,
that's good. That's a really good jump.
Yeah, I did it during. I I did it for a bit during COVID, just because I was like
Yeah.
at home way more.
Mhm.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
was
sport
gonna
can-
do a competition in March, but it ended up getting canceled. So
Well, I hope you get a chance to compete. I feel like that's its own sport, right?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of technique things, a lot of
hmm
that's cool. Welcome in, chat, for all those hanging out, watching us review. If you have anything that you want to watch in chat, let us know. We're just
And I
sharing
can
what-
tell that like it's not an Ethelmark thing because like this is this is like the fourth or fifth time that John like legged me. He was there. Like,
yeah, you're just not used to.
he liked me a
dealing with it.
lot.
Uh-huh.
Legs are
Um,
hard to defend if you're not used to getting hit there. Like it
and,
takes a lot of reps.
Yeah, you
I'm
can-
also I'm just like so tall. I got so much leg, right?
Just
Like
so much there.
I got really long legs.
Mhm.
And so it's so much leg for me to cover. And I'm a pretty aggressive like fighter.
Mhm.
I like to go forward a lot. And so I'm never focused on like covering my leg. I'm like, I just want to go.
Mhm.
yeah, step and look for the opening.
Yeah.
It looks like where you're getting, John, is with those redoubles that you're talking about.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, there's like powerful like long range redoubles.
I feel like that's where
I think-
I got caught as well. Go ahead, Robert. Sorry.
Specifically, like what I'm seeing that seems like it's working is like a partially committed lunge, like a serious enough lunge that he has to respond to it, but you're not
Respond to
like you're not going all out on it, and then you're going all out on the second one.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, like it kind of like it's a lunge that could hit, but it's
Yeah.
more of a feint, really.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
75% lunge.
Question to the room: is the redouble after redouble still a redouble, or is it called something else?
Shut up.
What?
That's a
Honest question.
triple, right?
Is it a retriple? Is it a throuple? What? What is the?
It's a throuple. Yeah, it's a
It's
throuple.
definitely not a triple.
Wait a minute. I think you're onto
Oh
something.
man. All right. No.
Let me just move that bit. Let me just move that hood, that drape for you there. Jeez. So mad.
That was the dagger
Just,
thing I'm talking about, Robert. Where like I'm trying to stop my dagger right at the edge of my body, like not let it go parallel.
Yeah, keeping that.
Trying to
Yeah, keeping that like upward angle.
yeah, trying to.
And I'm so upset our fights got short because I had to go do an
You were
interview.
famous. You got famous. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we're gonna be famous in a documentary about malls,
Yeah.
Great. Dead malls.
dead malls. Yep.
Literally, that's what it's about. It's about this guy. He's like trying to revive malls. So
Aw.
Imagine.
Weird.
Being-
Honestly, of all the energy to put into things, why that? Terrible malls.
I feel like it's the '90s kid nostalgia, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gotta
That's
be.
the audience.
Yeah, it has to be.
But
This is my
imagine,
youth.
imagine you come to a mall to do a documentary about how malls are dying, and you walk into this.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like,
Just be
oh,
like,
let's
what?
just give up.
what is going on?
It's too late. Rest in peace.
After watching your set with
Drag on
John,
back.
I'm upset at myself I didn't just take your leg more.
Yeah.
Now that I know.
Dang it, Boomy.
I'm really pleased with like the first shot I got on you. I got your leg, which like to
Yeah,
me
yeah.
is
Pretty-
unheard of.
Ooh,
I just gave up. It's like no, I'm good.
that was nice. That was really nice.
I love when I know I'm just dead. I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got it.
that's done.
Oh, it's rough. You get into a place where you think you're dead when you really weren't, and
Yeah.
I've done that. I've like given up way too early.
I'm so weirdly sweaty
Your
on the
like
shoulder.
your stance
What
is
the fuck?
so relaxed.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, Boomy looks
Thanks.
very calm.
Yeah.
I very honestly, I think that was as much tiredness as anything else.
Really?
That was like because the second day,
Right.
so after armor fighting and then like hanging out, partying, I
Mhm.
was like, yep. And I'm sure everybody else felt it too. It's not like that's unique to me, but it helps me be. I can't be that wound up.
Yeah.
Like
Muscles have to
frequency.
relax. 'Cause
Yeah,
they got
I'm just
nothing
like,
left.
I only have so much.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more chill.
Mhm.
Man, you got me to pop up right several times. That was just one right there. Every time that bad habit comes out of me, I observe it and I'm like, what am I doing?
The feet come together and you stand up.
Yeah, well, if I just stand up at all, like you can see a bounce where
Mhm.
my head goes up a couple inches.
Yeah, I do that too. A lot.
Yeah, it's like the danger response thing where you
Yep.
shoot up instead of backwards.
Correct. Yeah.
Right, which keeps you
Yeah.
in danger.
Yeah, it just puts you in more danger.
Yep.
Huge number.
Things to work on.
You fire
Yeah.
backwards as well as fire forwards.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to learn how to fire backwards more.
That is where I definitely get a lot of my value as a fighter. It's just people want to chase me down, and it just creates openings. Because if I attack into them, depending on who they are, they might be very well versed in defending themselves, and so the risk goes up.
Well, that's one of the biggest problems I have when I like fence Robert. Robert is very good at like that closing, but being defensive. And so I feel like because I typically will move backwards, but if I could fire backwards, I feel like I would get out of more.
Right.
Because Robert, you have that, that damn shot that kills me every time. That like
What is
that
what is
weird
the
like
shot?
crossbody angle shot that you throw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one Boomy was talking about earlier.
Oh,
Yeah,
a flip.
That pop into fourth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that one that kills me all the time.
Mhm.
Right? I feel like if I could explode backwards like a little bit faster, I could maybe get out of it more, right? Because sometimes I get out of it, but more often than not, you just get me with it. So
One of the things I think you could gain a lot of value out of, Sal, is that you sometimes let yourself go to low guard, which is fine. Like you transition between like low and mid guard.
Yeah.
But I want to just point out like the difference is right here. Is my hand is a little bit in front of my thigh.
Yeah.
Positioning.
whereas
And
mine is in
and yours
line
is a
with my
little
thigh.
too beside. Yeah, I think it's just a small movement. You're bringing your hand forward 6 inches. But
Okay.
what it does is allows you to, with the smallest flick of your wrist, stop the foot shot from John.
Oh,
Like
that's
I just
true.
basically my blade moves 2 inches this way. My tip comes inward just a little bit, and it
And you just catch it.
very consistently reflects John's foot shots inward, and then I either ride that upward if I keep the blade, or if he disengages, my dagger's there to catch it, and then I use that to throw. So I don't
Okay.
like his percentage of foot shot success on me has tanked since I turned the low guard into something that's a little bit more defensive in that
So
regard.
keep my arm like where it was right before I transitioned, as opposed to
Yeah.
next to me.
Yeah. It's just a little far back and not quite
Yeah.
forward enough. And there's like a amount of play that you have. That's not a big deal. But think about like how you parry inside high,
Yeah.
the stock basic parry that we do. Just the exact same thing, just low. Like you're pointed at their knee roughly to their shin with your tip, like that height, and you just parry inside. You just parry just like you would, looking for the weak of their blade with the strength of yours, and that will stop John's foot shot pretty consistently.
I like
Okay.
that. I've been wanting to add more drop point into my game, so
Is drop
That'd
point the term for like a low guard? Is it
yeah.
the East
I
term?
mean that's what I've always called it. That's what
Yeah,
John calls it.
I get picked on at at like Storvik practice by like Brian and Kalen. They'll be like, "Oh, you're fighting Logard. I got you."
Chat. What do you guys call it for where you are at? I'm kind of curious.
What's
This is
your
like
name
an
for
anthropology
tip down?
question. Who I do go for a leg shot.
But do you land it?
I don't.
Oh,
Yeah, your immediate reaction is to use your sword to fight. But
Yeah.
one reasonable action here is you take your sword and just parry inside. The
Right.
smallest little parry.
Right.
And then you can just take that sword then and run it into my foot or into my shin. After
Yeah,
you
because
parry.
I think I went from like my blade to my dagger here.
Yeah, you did a full switch, which is like I think the more default thing to do. Like that's what people are used
Yeah.
to doing. And
Yeah.
so me knowing that, like my dagger had
Yeah, you
already
picked
moved
me
up
up
there
with your
long
dagger.
before.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had anybody hit me in the foot for aiming at their foot. That's pretty slick. I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a parry riposte, but you're maintaining blade to blade,
Slow.
main blade to main blade contact.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I
no,
like that idea.
you should not disengage their blade if you already have obtained control in the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this particular set stood out in my mind because I remember we gathered an audience. Like on this
Yeah,
side of the
yeah,
camera,
there
there's
were
like
a bunch of
line
people watching.
Oh yeah, you can see a little bit in the mirrors.
Because you recorded this one, right? Yeah.
I became a little bit cognizant of it. I was like, oh no, we have an audience.
It's hard to not focus on that sometimes.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Gave up.
that
yeah,
little
yeah.
redouble's
That was
very nice.
the pump down the middle shot,
Yeah.
straight to the head.
Nice.
Well, I want to watch the.
You want to watch this one?
Yeah, I want to
Alright.
watch this one. Brian is so good. He kicked my butt.
Yeah,
Yeah, he sure is.
I like that. What about Brian's fight? Did you find particularly difficult?
I feel um, like his technical execution was really good,
Mhm.
and his. It's like every time he got me, I was like, "Oh, that's from a book. Oh, that's from a book." Brian is interesting to me because like he doesn't fight with the same like um I don't know, like super high athleticism that I see from a lot of the other top fencers, but he's very, very successful even so.
Absolutely. He's got like where his hand permanently stays in two. Some of it is, I think, injuries,
Mm-hmm.
and then a big chunk of it I know is his fencing background, like modern fencing, epee. And so
Yeah.
he would rather, instead of wrist rotation, stay in two and do angulation, like slight angulation with
Yeah.
the main blade to take things offline. And then
When
of
you
course,
say
Terry.
slight angulation, what do you mean by that?
As in, if you can imagine, you hold your hand in a pronated way, and so to parry, you'd have to angle your fingers with your right hand
Yeah.
to the right as your hand moves to the left, in this direction, chat,
Yeah.
to parry to the inside. Or you're holding it in three, so your hand is in a chopping stance, and you break to the inside, which is kind of your palm or wrist side, as opposed to kind of the more Italian rotate the strength of your blade into their blade.
So is he like flexing at the wrist rather than rotating at the wrist? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yeah, less rotation, a little bit more flex, and a little
Gotcha.
less total mobility for sure.
Mhm.
Salve, did you get summoned to a particular thing?
When?
Oh, well, at the stop of our bout, was it like game stuff?
Yep. Oh yeah, at the stop of our bout, like at the end of our bouts, that's when I had to go get interviewed by like that movie company.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
that comes out. I was wondering what that
And then
person.
and then they didn't even like use me for like we could have definitely like come to a natural conclusion because they had like another group. They had like the Baron and Baroness of the local group like still talking. And so I was like, I could have been fighting more, but okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hi, Cedric. Low guard or bottom line is what I call that line. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Bottom
Interesting.
line.
I like that.
That's fun.
Also, I'm glad you enjoyed. Please feel free to chime in if you got other thoughts on the fights.
Another thing that kills me with Brian is his forward movement is just so insane. Like once he goes, he unless you kill him, he's going all
Yeah,
in.
very
so.
committed forward. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
That does seem like it's relatively successful. Like a lot of the folks in Meridiace will do that too. They have a lot of forward momentum, and once it starts, they're like fully committed. There's no doubt in their mind. Even if it's not the best choice, their commitment actually gets them more kills instead of
Yeah.
that little doubt or pause or anything like that. It's pretty nice.
I see that from like Kaylin, I think does that as well.
Mhm.
So Brian was Kalen's like peer, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yep, that'll check. Exactly that I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not something
I
I can get myself to do. Like I've
Mhm.
tried. I'm like, oh no. I
It's
hesitate and I die.
it's something that I don't see a lot in Aethelmark. But when I
Yeah.
first started playing with the DC folks, I feel like there's a lot of folks in that group that like take the line and go.
hmm
It's pretty common in the East too.
Yeah, that's a big DC fencer thing. Kalen does it. Uh,
I feel like Fern does it
Ryan
too.
Byrne does it. JG will do it.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Alessandro's standing back there just in
I
the
know.
Alessandro just
proper
walked.
judgment face.
Yep.
that's just his face.
That's true.
It's
It could
very
be both things.
professorly.
He is a professor.
Is he? I thought he was like a doctor or something.
No, yes, he's Professor Vibes. Sorry.
Mm,
I think he's professionally a nurse, right?
that was that what it is. Okay.
Yeah, he's a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was something medical.
Yep, which is it's like somewhere between nurse and doc.
hmm
I loved that first shot that I landed on you.
Speaking of JG.
Boomy, I need some context. What are we watching?
Oh, I did that to him earlier in the day. That's all. I wiped my I came up and I wiped my forehead sweat on him. That's all. Funny. And he was just returning the favor. That's all.
Hell yeah.
That's the entirety of the story.
It's my hero.
I mean, I think one big upgrade to my fencing between this year and last is that I stopped like randomly switching to refused guard
Yes.
for shits and giggles.
Yep.
For shit.
Yeah.
Literally, I would do it when I was like, "Oh, this isn't working. Let me try something else,"
Yep.
and it would never work.
Yep.
I'm grateful that it's not there anymore.
I'm
It always made me mad
happy
when he
for
did it.
you in the sense that you're improving, but from a selfish point of view, it makes you way harder of a fight.
Fair, yeah, that's true. Harder to fight, harder
That
to
was
kill.
very pretty. Because you're in stance to throw it all the time, I have to just be aware all the time.
Yeah, it was a great cover down.
All right, so we're going. I'm taking a matching step, trying to respect. And you just explode.
Yeah,
Boom.
good
I
launch.
don't even have a response. I didn't even get to respond. I didn't get a turn. Like, you see, my brain doesn't activate till you are about halfway to me, right? Like,
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
here, my brain's like, oh shit, he's coming toward me. And now I start to move my dagger at all. Like, right, that's frame one.
Whoopsie.
Look how close your blade is to me on frame one of
Yeah,
my
it's
dagger
just like
action.
too late.
Yeah. And I didn't step back, which is my fault.
I would figure out how to do that intentionally, because like those are the cleanest kills is where you
Oh,
can
very clean.
send
Yep.
it before they start.
Yeah.
But how do you set that up?
You just go for it.
I mean, I think about this a lot because my favorite shot is a pretty hard explosion down the middle. But if I fire it at the wrong time, obviously they parry it, they see it coming. So sometimes I've found that if I take little nibble steps backwards and they start to get comfortable getting closer and closer, then I can fire it in because you have to be close enough to make that work. And if somebody stands way too close to me, thinking my range is smaller, that's when it's more successful.
Right.
So anything you can do to anything you can do to coax them closer, either nibble into their range or if they can step into your range, it's usually pretty safe.
This is my favorite still frame. Like, what the fuck is going on with
Look
my
at your
feet?
That's exactly what I was looking at. Like,
Whoa! What were you? Were
yeah,
you
so
like
this is
skipping there?
forward.
Truly impressive. Somebody asked me if I was like a ballet person. They should have been asking you this.
Okay.
This is a
Yeah.
ballet move.
That's impressive that you stayed
This
upright.
is very good.
So let's do
Oh!
Okay.
You like
And you're not
sashayed
dead.
backwards.
So
That
I
was
do a cross
crazy.
step.
Amazing.
I do a cross step back, which is
This is
and you're
super
doing cross
human.
step forward.
Yeah, I'm cross up forward. I think what's going on here is that I'm launching forward faster than I can kind of recover.
Hover from.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to be this far forward.
Yeah, you lost your balance.
Immediately have to like start driving with the back foot.
You lost your balance over your butt here, just a little bit. I think you can see the way you're leaning
Hmm.
because you're like really reaching for that forward for the kill, and so you do a cross step, essentially full lateral cross step to not fall over. You're like, oh, gotta
Yeah.
save
Oh,
myself.
I would have gone. I would have bashed my knee into my other knee and just gone down.
Very
It's
impressive
crazy
balance-wise.
watching my
No.
legs.
You know,
There's no
and in my brain,
no
it's the
universe I make
it's
that
the
work.
go riposte because his
Fighting
feet
a
are all fucked.
gazelle.
Boomy, if you ever need a shot to make a meme out of me, that's one.
That's a good one. I appreciate that. Maybe we'll gift that. If someone wants to clip it, we are at 4:25,
Nice.
roughly.
Sorry.
4 hour 25 hours. Oh yeah, this is the start of. This is where the tide changed.
Hmm.
So I distinctly remember. I was like this. I remember about halfway, roughly through the bout, went through the set. I was like, I'm tired of fighting Robert where he can hit me with a sword. And I need to not let that happen anymore.
I am tired of fighting Robert where he can hit me.
Yeah, just with the sword at all. Like that was I didn't
Yeah.
want that to be an option
my
anymore.
God.
And so I was like, then I had a chain of dagger kills. Is what I
Yeah.
remember in our fight.
Wow. Okay.
So it was very
Yeah,
much
you
like
stabbed me in the-
hard close go.
Mhm.
Yeah, hard. Like you're gonna shut his
Mhm.
sword down with your sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, sword to sword. I was just going to use that as my response is not to step in as opposed to.
Well,
as
how are you
opposed
gonna
to,
do
like,
that
messing
without
around.
a fucking dagger?
I
Boomy?
know. I was very impressed with that. I was like, oh yeah, people haven't taken my dagger in forever.
I was really happy with that.
That was a beautiful setup and shot.
I don't think that shot actually landed.
I think you like hit my pinky knuckle or something. It was something like very like. I was like, oh,
Oh, and the
that
dagger.
is a
Sorry.
very rare occurrence, considering I used essentially a buckler.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't remember how I set it up.
It's really just Madub.
That was,
Really
my
sick
brain
on it.
was like, nope, we are not playing this. He can have a sword game.
We both did that a couple times. Just like ran at the other person.
Hmm.
That's always my least favorite game because that's like when I get ranked.
Mm.
I feel like I think it happened both times. It happened. Yeah, here Boomy does that dagger thing again. I think what I was trying to do here is get to that range where I can hit him and he can't hit me with his dagger, and I was overshooting a lot because you changed the way that you're responding.
Hmm. Yeah, I started to step into you and make that the battle
Mhm.
as opposed to, like that. That's what I didn't want, because you were so good in this range.
Yeah,
So
that made
right
Yeah.
here, right?
Yeah.
You hard beat my blade to blade contact,
Nice.
and you knew I was going to cover with the dagger, so you couped.
This is
I
the
was
shot
like-
Sal's talking about.
Yep. I was
Yep,
very
there it
bad. I was
is.
like,
That a lot.
oh, look at that. Those adaptations as we go, because I had caught your blade plenty of times with a dagger at this point.
Mhm.
And me, like, oh, he's going to be there. I swear. Nope. Pop.
That's something I want to add to my game is that hard beat to the inside and then flick up.
The flip
Mhm.
4.
I don't
Yeah.
really have that.
I want to say like 7 times out of 10. That's how Robert kills me. Is
You think so? Oh my
I
gosh.
Flip
really
four.
do. I really do. It's
I like
it's
it.
super common. Like you throw that shot and I'm just like I'm dead. Like you get into the guard and I'm like I don't know what to do here and you blast me. Not hard, but you just kill me.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, here's
Except for when we both step in and then we
explode each
then
other.
we do blast each other.
Yeah.
Have you found that like at the more higher levels you like end up like getting hit harder or hitting harder?
Yeah.
Because you're both
Definitely.
moving so much. Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Everybody's moving faster, so things
Right.
just happen more.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
like a U shape when you're like low level fights. You get hit hard, and then
Yeah.
in the middle, when
Yeah.
everyone kind of knows what's up, you don't get
Mhm.
hit that hard, and then super high level, you get blasted all the time.
Blasted all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the gist.
Definitely,
It's also
John
okay,
has
like,
hit
it's
me harder
acceptable.
than anybody else in my life.
John hit me the hardest shots I got at Adult Swim. He hit me twice in the chest, really hard.
What was that, the sternum bruise you're talking about?
What's that?
Was that the sternum bruise you had mentioned?
Yeah, he hit me in the sternum, and he hit me in like the middle of the pec.
Mhm.
I think the hardest I've been hit is by Robert, but I think it's just because of the sheer amount, like the sheer amount that we
Mhm.
fight, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like I
Also,
think
the
that's
more
what,
similar, at least I think the more similar the fighters are, the more
Mhm.
Yeah,
those
the more
hard hits come.
familiar. Yeah, John and I
Mm.
blast each other.
Yeah.
Master Orlando, he creamed he like creamed me.
Have Rowan and Booby, have you fought Orlando?
I think so, but it's been a couple years.
Hmm. He
Yeah.
hasn't been as active lately.
hmm But yeah,
He
so
likes Apesic.
he was my peer. Um
Oh, I didn't know that.
and so like him and I used to nice
That was so
nice
pretty.
shot. Him and I would just train until like exhaustion and we would just blast each other. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I love it. Oof, that's nice.
Another one of those.
Yeah,
Where
look how
you're...
slow
Gorgeous,
my dagger
gorgeous.
is to fucking respond to your action.
Watch it. Wait, go back a little more. I want to see
Yep.
what sets that out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's
So
Crouching,
I
apparently.
flinched. You ducked. That's what
Yeah.
happened there. And then you do a cross step because you ducked because you were out of position with your feet.
yeah,
So now you're set up here.
Really close.
Yep.
really
And I know you're going to
close.
launch because
Really
I'm already
close.
stepping back. I was like, I
Yeah.
already hate everything about this. But my dagger is slow. Yeah.
Oh
Slow to
yeah, because
react.
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like Robert threw immediate like as you were like
That's
mid
the heel
step.
tap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
It is
toe
the heel tap.
With a cross step,
Yeah.
which is nice. That's not something
Gorgeous.
most humans
Yeah.
can do.
So John had kind of dug into the heel tap thing, and that one of the ways he said that was more effective was that when you do the heel tap, your opponent thinks you're just taking a step and settling, but then you
Mhm.
take that and finish it into a lunge, and so
Yeah.
it kind of takes their defenses down a little
Yep.
bit.
Absolutely.
I think
Might
it
have been
takes.
what happened to Boomy.
Yeah, I think it takes. I think specifically what it does is it takes the point where they have to decide
Yeah.
what they're
Mhm.
doing, and it
Yep.
pushes it a split second later.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I think
what
that's-
Tora's version of it is. It gives a snapshot of what they have to react to, and so they
Mhm.
only have a moment to process. And
Nice.
usually they process like their best response, which is like defend the thing they think they're going to be attacked in,
Mhm.
and you beat
I'd
that.
I'd love to incorporate that like heel tap.
Yeah,
I
tap
just
and
haven't
explode.
I haven't like learned it yet. So
So
We're-
if you want to talk about it, like I tried to specifically train in the heel tap and found out the hard way that it was a stance issue for me. That
Mm.
I needed to be able to stand in a good stance, low, and aggressively launch forward, and then let myself like land on that front leg. And
Mhm.
until I was able to do that, I wasn't really able to like finish my lunge, and so I'd kind of kill the heel tap. In addition, you need to be able to like do a long lunge as well as the gather step. So for pretty much all of us, we'll be in stance and we'll take the front foot and then the back foot and then the front foot and the back foot and kind of inch forward. And
Right.
so the heel tap is really just that front foot, back foot, but then instead of just completely settling, you finish it into a long lunge. But if you don't have both of those working separately, they can't combine. Does that make sense?
It's
Yeah.
like the first half of that small gather step, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's the first half of the small gather step. You just don't settle there. You finish it into a long lunge. But if you cognitively like try to force it to be trained in, it won't really work. So you just got to get your gather steps really good and your long lunge really good, and they should combine themselves automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Frame by frame, here is exactly the heel tap that I prefer, and this is executed exactly how I would like to execute it, which is I'm looking for their back foot to start moving. And none of this is conscious, by the way. This is all subconscious. So they have to settle at some point. So I'm already launching when they're moving forward, when they're trying to settle forward at me. That's
Yeah.
one. Two, I take a small step and present what I want them to see right before I actually launch.
Nice.
So right here, I've presented, oh, I'm going after your leg, and then I'm going to launch for real. Knowing that that's what I've presented, I will go to where I believe Robert will leave himself open, which means his dagger's going to go down to cover the blade, which is exactly what it does. And I actually launch for real to where the dagger isn't now,
Nice.
and pop.
That's really
This is the
nice.
thing. Yeah, this is the thing Slav was trying to get me to do. That what you're talking about, where you take a step in almost. Here it's a heel tap, but it could be a regular step
could just
in,
be a
and
step.
you
Mhm.
present.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I agreeing. Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah.
could be a full step.
As you take that step, you're presenting something,
Mhm.
and then you're changing it.
Change. It.
I feel like I've struggled getting that to work specifically against taller opponents, because presenting that first thing I feel like leaves me open. Do you have thoughts on how to get around that?
What happened there? I don't know if it is. If it's taller opponent, maybe it speaks to the measure in which you are stepping, and maybe you need more of a step. I mean, I'm a taller opponent, and you've sold me on it a few times.
Sure.
Although I like this commitment. This is you saying you're too close measure wise that I can seed your dagger, and I know where your dagger is going to stop. If that makes sense, like you are giving just enough an angle, enough lateral step to just attack through my defenses here. This is beautifully done. Yeah, I think you clip before I get the flick.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep. Here's the pose. Well, what has happened? This is the what's that shadow game we played earlier?
They're giving each other huggy,
Fencer hug.
huggies.
All right. What else we want to watch? Rowan, I want to
Alien.
add one of you. We haven't watched one of yours yet.
Yeah.
Did we watch Ruin Clown on Me yet? Did we do that at the start?
Was it the beginning? Here, let me pull up your doc.
Like we can watch Rowan Clown on Robert and then Rowan
Switch
and
this, Boomy. This is last year. Switch the first tab in the bottom left.
Thank you.
Yeah, I sent the wrong link.
And this is Rowan. This is who are we looking for? Rowan and Sal?
No, Rowan and Robert.
Me.
And Robert. Okay.
There's a couple. I think the first one is the one where everyone kicked my butt. We fought right after lunch, and I think both of us were struggling.
Yeah, I was full of tacos.
Oh, this is right after lunch. Okay. That's good context. Two parties weighed down by tacos.
Yeah.
Who am I fighting? Who's that? Who is that? I can't see. I can't tell.
Can you all see this?
Yeah.
Are you leaning back, Rowan?
I don't know what I'm doing. Hold up. I'm gonna move. MT's working in the other room.
Yeah, you're good. I thought you were just like doing a back lean here.
So, yeah. Sorry. Sure. Feedback that Sven gave me, and gave to John, was that I'm a little hesitant. I was like small dick energy coming from me. Not very confident in the way I'm presenting myself. I think Robert picks that up.
Okay. I want to give. So after watching Robert, like Robert and I, our pass, when we do the explosion through, it is a straight line tip to body, tip to target. If that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yep.
You add
I go
maybe
high.
like 2 frames of lift blade here. So if you
Yep.
watch you're presenting low, I think, like you're trying to get the trigger low here.
Hmm.
But as you come up,
I go too high.
right here, yeah, there's like 1, 2, 3 frames are too high. But now the tip's starting to travel forward again.
It was wasted time.
As wasted time. I think that's one of the biggest differences. And I know we're talking like 3 frames of movement, but I think that's some of the differences between that one being good and that one not being good.
Very much so. Very much so.
It's a nice dagger snipe.
Yeah, it was a good snipe. Oh, no.
Picking me apart.
Yeah,
You got my hand,
getting
though.
stumped. You all have a term for that in your respective kingdoms? Like when you pick
No.
somebody's both hands and leg?
Stumped is good though. I've
Stumped
heard
is
Black
how I've heard
Knighted,
it.
but stumped is good.
I'd love to hear
Hit me with
feedback
that
with my
foot
fight
finger.
around 5-0.
Yeah.
Sure. Right after Will
I
Death.
think I
Okay.
just, yeah, the foot used to be totally fake for me. I used to never land foot shots, but I'd throw them anyway, and then the fake foot shot turned into a real foot shot, kind of naturally over time.
Good.
But they still look fake as hell.
They do. It catches some people off guard, I think. Let's see if your tip traveled
Straighter.
straighter. You dip low again. I think
Mhm.
the measure is also a better measure for it. You were
Yeah,
slightly
this
closer
is,
to it.
this is more appropriate.
Oh, look at that fake out.
Yeah.
That's
You
good.
do the pump and stop in like the forward back of your sword.
Let's hope that I drive forward into it though, because I didn't. That was a great opportunity to
Yeah,
do
that was
something instead of stand there.
very good. This is pretty big dick energy. Because you've gotten Robert to flinch twice.
Yeah,
Then
I
back
feel
up.
like when we fight, you have big dick energy.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Although your
still high. Look at that.
your sword could be better. That one was less bad. It had a little less like wrist travel, if that makes sense. Yeah, good. Pop.
I've actually been getting into a lot of more mental toughness stuff because my confidence got shook pretty bad, and so recently I've been having a lot of anxiety going into tournaments.
Mm.
Um, like this King's Champ, I was so sick with anxiety that I just bombed. It was real bad.
Oh,
Um, it's been interesting. Like now I know it's a real problem, so I can work on it. But I feel like it's been a problem for the last year or so, and I've been kind of ignoring it.
do you
What
have?
would you?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, what would you say is like the biggest like triggering for it? Can you like pick it out?
I think that in general, I was feeling like a little bit of a like imposter, failure, like come into a tournament and be like I have to win this rather than just
Mm.
delivering on what I have. So
Hmm.
it put a lot of
Hmm.
pressure on myself,
I got you.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Like
that's
no forgiveness for losses. Like they
oh
just
yeah,
Mhm.
kind of
that's
sit there and pick myself apart for a long time. Um,
Is that is that like a reputation thing? You feel like people expect you to be really good at fencing?
maybe yeah, I mean like I get that a bit because I get like external pressure, but the internal pressure is probably what's getting me the worst, to be honest.
Mm.
yeah. Internal pressure is really hard. I only ask. I'm a behavioral like therapist, so like for a
Awesome.
school,
Mhm.
so like that. I was like, oh, maybe I can offer something.
I'm always down for help. I'm
Yeah,
down.
absolutely.
I've been
Yeah.
re-listening to a bunch of the Coach's Corner
Mm-hmm.
videos.
Mhm.
Just kind of resettle the
Yeah,
brain.
I feel like the imposter syndrome I feel like that gets so real in like the SCA, right? Because we,
Mhm.
like we do form a reputation about like ourselves inside of ourselves and also like with other people. And
Mhm.
so like uh yeah, I definitely think it's super easy to like fall into the trappings of like and then the anxiety of it all. I totally
Yeah.
get that.
No, I was having a lot of self-doubt of like at this point in my career, I feel like I should, which should is never a good word, should
Mhm.
be able to glide through tournaments, and I always feel like I'm
Mhm.
kind of like struggling through them, and it's making me fight worse rather than driving me to fight better.
Yeah, I had a similar experience probably a year into when I started actually being good. I feel like in 2022, I came back in around February, and then that summer I won my first QRC, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
shit, I'm actually good at this." And
yeah.
I kind of rode that high for like 8 months, maybe a year,
Hmm.
and after I was doing pretty well for a while, I started having that same like pressure of
Yeah.
I expect to do well in this tournament, and if I don't, it's a I've failed. It's a bad thing.
Mhm.
Yes, 100%.
Um,
And mine got worse after I won King's Champ. Like you
yeah,
win it and you're like, "Oh no."
feel
Like
like yeah, like now I gotta actually be good at
yeah,
this.
it's kind of a bad feeling when I won. Like I wasn't
Mm,
happy. I didn't celebrate. I was just like, "Oh no, I kind of feel sad."
mm,
It's
Well, I
unhappy.
think it compounds, right? Because like once you like have all the regalia and stuff, people like search you out and stuff. It's like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the thing that's been good for me is just like trying not to get invested in winning
Hmm.
anything actually.
Yeah.
Um, being like, I'm here to have a good time. I like sword fighting, and the rest will
Hmm.
work itself out.
right.
That's a lot of the advice of like John didn't agree with me on this one, but a lot of the coaches corner and sports psychology stuff that came up was if you set the goal of winning, your goal's in the
Hmm.
wrong spot because you can't
Yeah,
control that. You can't
Right.
control the results.
yeah.
Right.
You can set the goal of like prepare.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Execute on your preparedness.
Yeah.
Block. Like you can
Like
set goals like that.
right.
Mhm.
Like I
So,
had the goal for the last QRC that I won. I had the goal of getting as good at fencing as I could before the QRC.
yes, beautiful. Love that. I've been feeling terribly unprepared for every tournament, and I
Mm.
just fall apart.
What does your pre-tournament prep look like?
Well, it used to be that I would like visualize and settle myself and kind of find the right zone of anxiety, so enough to get me
Hmm.
like uh excited or aroused, like that
Mhm.
emotional arousal,
Yeah, like
but not so
activated.
much that I was sick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Doing
my
it.
champs
Mhm.
fight at Gulf Wars was definitely the worst fight I've ever had in my life. Not that not against my opponent, like my opponent was lovely, but the night before I couldn't sleep. Like my heart
Mm.
was pounding
Oh, yeah.
so hard for hours, and it just never dropped. My stress level never dropped.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was so stressed and so tired, I fell asleep waiting to get called for my heroics fight. Like it was stupid.
Oh,
Gosh.
It was truly the worst
man.
anxiety I've ever had. And that type of thing has been perpetuating pretty bad.
Mhm.
So it's interesting. Like this is 11 years into fencing and still happens. Or
Right.
it happens worse now than it's ever happened before. Yeah, funky. But I think internal pressure, needing to win rather than just being prepared, and delivering on what you already have
Mhm.
is kind of a recipe for disaster.
Another thing I like to do is like, and I think it's like, I think it kind of goes like, mm, it's like a lesser, not known, but like a lesser like used thing is just like positive affirmations, right? Like
Yeah.
always like just reaffirmating to yourself. Just like even if it's not like about fencing, just be like, yeah, I'm a cool person. People like me
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Like it just I feel like it helps really like calm the brain
Yeah.
and stuff. So
I think that's a good idea. I mean, it calms the brain and then also reasserts your confidence.
hmm
John was talking about how he actually practices confidence in everyday life. So he tries to bring that like confident energy that he wants to bring to a fight, but he brings it to like the grocery store. He brings it to driving. He brings it to whatever. So he's
Oh,
like
Like
that's so specific.
flexing that
Okay,
muscle basically.
well yeah, and
that makes
it's
sense.
really good to do that. It's I I teach a lot of that with the kids that I work with is a lot of like
Nice.
confidence and like self actualization, right? Like they
I like
like
that.
figuring out like who you are and what who you want to be, right? And just
Hell yeah.
living like that. Will
I like that.
Death.
I love Will Death. He's the best.
He's
He
such a sweetie.
he
He's
kicked
really sweet.
Hmm.
He's very sweet.
at swim.
I feel like a lot of people, I've heard this story from multiple people now that they saw him or were in like a group that he was in and they were like, oh, he seems so scary. And then they actually like get to chat with him and they're like, oh, he's a little sweetheart.
Yeah, he's
We
like the
literally
sweetest guy ever.
we like nerded out about like anime.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Uh-huh. He's great.
Yeah, we were talking about Gundam.
He's like a really good dad. He's just like a perfect little person.
Mm. Do they have kids?
He's a kid. Yep.
Yeah.
Little teenager. If you hang out with him long enough, he'll always talk about Joe Lewis. Perfect. Really, really good like general fencing advice or general fighting advice as far as like
Mhm.
um not firing into somebody's set point, disrupting their attack, using indirect angular attacks.
Right.
Really pleasant to talk to about fighting.
Mhm. This is the first time I've seen him fight anything other than Case, and
Yeah.
I walked in expecting to do better than I do against his Case, and I did not.
He's very good.
He's real
He's
good.
he's real good.
He's good at
Hmm.
heavy too. It's messed up.
Yeah,
He's a
is he the
knight, right?
shift?
He's
Yeah,
not a shit. No,
He's not okay.
he's not? Oh.
he won't take awards.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Um, Lordy.
it's a big lunge boomer.
Thanks.
Does that
Mhm.
land?
Yeah, yeah.
I think what
That
Yeah.
was that
it's just
Yeah.
in. Cool.
that low high.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
I was just seeing my form. I still have a slight lean to the right, which I dislike. I want to be a little bit more
Mm.
straight forward in my movement.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert.
Hmm.
This configuration. Let's see if I can do it. I'll see if I can't find it again. You have moments where you tap the sword. I've been watching you kind of like tap the tap other people's swords, and I wanted to kind of point out that you can use that to then control their sword instead of like giving it up right away, and then put your dagger in line for their secondary action. I'll give a concrete example in just a second.
Yeah.
I like the conversation that was happening, so I wanted to let it progress the way it was progressing. Said we'll come right back to your video in a second. I wanted to pull that up here.
Good job remembering where in the video it was, John Boomy.
Yeah, it was right here.
Good job.
Thank you.
So you're seeing me tapping our own sword.
Right there.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
This moment, I'm going to rewind just a little bit. This first tap, okay. You reach down to tap right here, but you're already like, this signal of your back foot tells me you're like, I'm not confident in this action, right? Because you can sense the explosive forward energy that they're...
The big dick energy.
Yeah, the big dick energy. That's coming at you. If you tap that and found control, because you could easily steal control here, right? You pull the swords down slightly. You just strength on weak. You know that, and then combine that with taking your dagger in roughly the same orientation and just touching your pommel to basically the top of your hand, if that makes sense. It's because you
make a
know
wall.
that Rowan has to disengage flipping upward in that 4. Because I do that to you a lot.
You mean put my dagger like upright over top of my right hand?
Not upright. It should be pointed forward. It should be at least a 45 because it's intercepting an arc, if that makes sense.
That
Interesting.
makes sense.
But
I thought
stacking
you
the
meant
hands.
upright too. Yeah.
But ultimately, you're intercepting where this blade would have gone because you've covered it. Does that make sense? It has
So you're
to
just
flip
getting ready.
forward.
You're getting ready for that crossbody dagger.
Exactly,
Parry, yeah.
and you should have those things in place after you touch the blade. Otherwise, you're giving like essentially like a tempo for someone to attack through this gap here. That I think is an opening that you really don't need to give people.
Yeah.
Commit to stopping their blade.
Something about the way that Rowan fights. I want to put my sword in that position. I noticed it last year, and we noticed it this year too.
Yeah, it's like when you commit to cover. I think you have the capacity to just cover the secondary line, and then just now you have full control of the blade. Depending on where they go, you get to respond. But I think that is a huge value in your kit.
So that
go ahead.
to put it in my own words, that's covering the low line guard with my sword, forcing the disengage to my outside, and then just prepping the dagger parry. Yeah.
Correct, exactly that. And then prepping the dagger such that it's already in line. Because we do in our fights a bunch.
Yeah, I do it against. I don't know if we have footage of me fighting Montana. I did that a bunch against Montana, where I would bait him into throwing that outside shot. It worked with mixed success.
Right, the tap. Like here, you would have done the inside cover. Right, so right there, you inside covered. Instead of giving it up right away, you inside cover, and then you take your dagger and place it basically vertically with a slight outside tilt and a forward, like toward me, posture for your dagger. So that it's when I disengage. Because I have to. I don't have a choice. I have to disengage off your blade. Otherwise, you have control of my sword now, and I'm locked out. And if I don't do the fastest thing, which is disengage and throw towards you, then I will be pulling my hand back in some way and looking for the shallowest point, which is the V that you've created with your blades. And that is a big enough action that you can now react to it how you want.
Yeah, I can just send the dagger back the other way.
Exactly. Or bring the whole thing to the other side, whatever it is. But you are choosing to instead tap and go, if that makes sense. And I think there's value for you to learn that action. Because I think it's big money in your kit.
It looks like, with what I'm doing, it looks like I'm kind of putting both my weapons to cover that inside line.
Correct.
I don't need to have that dagger. The dagger would be better covering outside.
It should be, yeah, where the basically you're locking their blade to one side or the other. It doesn't really matter
Mhm.
which side. But the let me see, I'm just looking for my own hands to do the thing.
Mhm.
Maybe I do it, maybe I don't. In this last sequence, I don't remember, to be honest. I don't want to look for it. All right, continuing on. I wanted to see this fight. All right, said as
Who is
promised.
that?
It's
Cedric.
Master Cedric.
Yeah,
Cedric.
who's chilling with us in chat?
East, I
Uh,
think.
requested a look.
Yeah, I fought with him. He's super good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rowan, where's Cedric from?
East Kingdom.
Hmm.
Where in the East Kingdom? I'm so sorry, Cedric, I can't remember. Um, I should remember, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, I think. I
Ooh.
think is local to me, but not at my local practice.
Yeah, I fought him and he was using a hat, and I was like, oh, no problem. And I was like, wow, I can't do anything here.
It's a good hat block.
It's so good. So good. It's so weird because I always like line up with like MODs from other kingdoms, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like fighting an MOD from my kingdom, and then I get shitty, and I'm like, oh, never mind.
It's a,
This is nothing like fighting people from my kingdom.
yeah, the regional differences are pretty wide, pretty varied.
It's so
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah. I mean, even like between East Kingdom and Ethelmark is pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
We're all next to each other, but we've got different vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like pockets of preferences, like action preferences, which I think just stem from teaching, right? That's
Yeah.
I think it's weird because like I know a lot of people that like fight like I'm not a good example of like an Ethelmark fighter, right? Because
Mhm.
I practice like primarily in Atlantia, so I think like I
That makes
pick
sense.
up like
Yeah, you do
a
fire
blend of
a lot
stuff.
like an Atlantean.
Yeah, I pick up a lot of like Atlantean stuff, but then I fight people from like New York and they like fight like East Kingdomers, and I'm like, what? Pennsylvania is the only pure Ethelmark.
That's the part. Vania's only pure
Yeah,
blood.
I
referencing
say
something
as
we
I
were talking
spit
about
in
earlier.
Pennsylvania.
Um, when I'm probing, I'm learning about my opponent's reactions. So you can see here,
Mhm.
like I'm just probing low and just I know exactly where the dagger is going to go if I probe for
Yeah.
real to that leg,
And how big that dagger
and then
movement's
about
gonna
how
be.
big that motion is. So next time I'll show and I will disengage to probably the closest possible line to go over it. It's always kind of like checking, see what their actions are. If anything changes, maybe I do something else.
Mhm.
Their dagger positioning has kind of shifted a bit.
Oof. I hate those when you extend out and you're getting parried and you kind of stay a little too long.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me so nervous.
I didn't realize we're this close to the camera.
Yeah,
It's a little.
sucks.
It's harder to like actually judge.
Yeah, we can see hands, but we can't see the feet.
This is really the Celestria and Lacerina show.
I know I'm watching La Serena in the background. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, go La Serena. I'm kind of upset I didn't get to fight Celestria at AE Swim because I fought her at Pensic and she clowned on me. So
Celestria, how would you know if you knew Sal back in the day on Mabinagi? I don't know how that works. Let us know in chat. I'm kind of curious.
it'd probably be like server.
I just remember I played on the NA server, unless there was not an NA server. I don't know how.
Well, there were 3, and then there were 4. right? Because there were 3 NA servers, and then they added another one, um, like shortly after I started playing. So yeah, yeah, we would have had to have been on the same server for sure. Yeah, so was I. So yeah, I was also in Mari. So
You might have known each other
yeah,
from way back when, like way back
yeah.
when. That's funny. All right, chat. For those watching, something I noticed about said was their when main blade was in left hand, their defenses travel together, and I had probed that earlier. So I'm doing the same concept that I was talking about before, which is show
Mm.
something and then go to where it's open. When I showed
Mhm.
high, I knew that dagger cross parry plus high parry with sword was going to happen, and so we're just going through the empty space where where the stuff's not going to be. But that is kind of getting book on somebody in the moment, um, taking that heel tap, showing something, and then going somewhere else. When they swapped to right hand, it became a similar thing, but with the dagger.
Oh, Nova's in the chat. Cool.
What was that? What a brawl at the end. I like it. Yep. This is how you're supposed to end the match, right? This is a parry
Put put
overhead.
put that on a slideshow.
Yeah.
Guess what
Just
they're
this last little
doing?
bit.
This is first.
We could take some of the moments. Honestly, I'm in. Uh, this is where that mobility does matter. Doing
Yeah.
shit
Mhm.
like this.
Oh yeah, because you just
Yeah,
drop.
Yeah. I was like, I know I
absolutely.
can defend myself. Goodbye.
I wish I had footage of it. There's a fight. I was fighting Maggie. I think I was fighting single,
Hmm.
and she legged me and it was closing on me, but I dropped into like a reverse Nordic and stabbed her as I was going down.
Nice. Can
Who
you do
was
a full
that?
reverse Nordic yet? Without,
What's up, Jimmy?
can you do a full reverse Nordic, like full range,
I
without
could. I
the?
haven't. I haven't done it in a while though.
I still can't. I have to. I
Yeah.
have to have at least a little bit of a band, or like
Mm-hmm.
I'm right now at a. I can hold my armored spear, and do one,
Nice. Yeah.
but that's what it takes. Is
It
that
took me.
counter lever?
It took me like 3 to 6 months of consistent training to get it.
I've been doing it very consistently for a better part of a year, but I'm also like pretty long, and so the
Yeah. You have a.
lever is like it's long and thus
Yeah.
heavy.
You have a long torso. One of the things that I struggled with it is that I think the way that my weight is distributed, doing it without any resistance, I don't balance right. So instead of like my legs staying planted, my knees come off the ground and I have to like explode up a little bit,
That
or I
is
just
Mm,
fall backwards.
yeah, gotcha.
that is 100% something I could not do.
Millicent. Rowan, did you
That's my
post
name.
your footage that you wanted to watch? I assume
Yay.
there was. This is
Do you want Adult Swim or do you want King's Champ?
no
What do you want?
EK. Which one do you want to watch?
There's the finals if you want to go through final stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to watch me versus Rowan too. I want to
Sounds good.
pick that
We'll do
apart.
those two next
I
in
want to
queue.
pick me apart.
Y'all can tell us
So
what
who
you want.
were finals? Was it
There's the
Effingham and
1153, the old longer one.
Aha! Thank you. Oh, I didn't want to add that.
Effingham and Mohammed
oh
are the
Muhammad? I didn't
finals.
know Muhammad was like a fencer.
Dude, he's been fencing since 2012.
Damn,
Is that crazy?
that
He
is
showed me pictures from his first tournament.
yeah.
Like he won his first tournament that he
Gee,
fought in. Great town. Yeah, 2012. I had no idea too. I was like, oh, you've been just fencing for a few years. I was dead wrong.
Could you give some
yeah.
context as to like what the tournament is, how many entrants, formatting, etc.?
So this is their King's Champion, so it's like K and Q for other kingdoms, or Queen's Champion for other kingdoms. So it's like our biggest fencing tournament. Only happens once a year for us, instead of 6 months like other places. We did round robin. So a bunch of pools, and then top 16 come out of their pools. That breaks down to uh, single elim. Trying to remember, I think it was best 2 out of 3,
Okay.
and then this is the actual finals. Finals is a rotating call and response weapons form, but
Yep.
this time we had matching styles. Sometimes it's not matching.
Best out of 5.
Yes. There was a little bit of confusion from the way things were being announced. Sometimes they were saying it was best of 7, but best of 5 is what we got. So
Okay. Best of 5, and then it was loser chooses form after that first one.
yes, it's like a flip of the coin. One person chooses, and then I think they just swapped who chose. It wasn't loser chooses. It was just swapping.
Oh, they just got it back and forth. Okay, so the coin toss and then back and forth. That's interesting. What a format.
Yeah.
Was outgoing champ Yehuda?
Outgoing champ was Antonio for Kings, so the guy who won was
Okay.
Antonio, and then Yehuda was the selected champion for Queens.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is this the normal way to do it where Kings is Marshall champ and Queens is chosen champ?
Yes,
Okay.
that's how we always do it.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's different than culturally
It's
different
kind
than
of like
others.
Onstero does the Queen's champion is the winner of the tournament, and then Queen's Blade of Honor is the chosen.
Chad is asking
After
how many of
this,
y'all have seen this. I have not seen this.
I mean, I've seen it. It's
Yeah,
not
right.
good.
Yeah. I was like, I think Rowan has, and that's about it.
I did not get to watch this.
Well, you're getting the
Um,
certainly the rest of us the reactions.
I just
and then,
saw Effingham's outfit that he posted on Facebook.
let's see, like, we also have a cloak of perseverance. So somebody kind of just went through, like, persevered. Usually, it's like if somebody got injured, like
Mhm.
a cloak of perseverance. That's another like selected person. It's a kind of cool way to do it. Woof.
Oh. Right, question for y'all. When you're fighting cloak, do you prefer a short cloak or a long cloak?
I don't fight cloaks, so
I
I
think I
prefer the
prefer
smallest
a
thing
long
possible.
cloak because I like
Okay.
my cloak kind of static.
I
What do you
want
prefer?
I want to basically fight single sword with hand, and so I would rather hold the smallest piece of cloth allowable.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
just
use a buckler.
yeah, I would prefer to use a buckler.
I do not like cloaks.
Yeah, same. I hate a delay. I hate delay on items.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I fight what Rowan was saying is I just have like a wall of bullshit and it's you got to get through my wall of bullshit if you want to hit
So you
me.
treat it like a heater shield, essentially.
Yeah, more or less.
hmm I totally get
I
that. I mean,
do.
that's functionally how
Leave
it
my
should
arm
be.
there.
Yeah, I do it. Honestly, both of these fighters are doing is just drape it.
I have a
Yeah.
question for all of you. When fighting cloak, how does your general community play with like thrust through cloaked body
Mm.
parts and cuts through cloaked body parts, like draws
Well,
or
I
percussive
mean,
and otherwise?
the rules say that if you hit a cloak and it touches your skin, you lose the skin. Like if you hit the cloak and it touches your hand, the hand's gone.
Yeah.
That's what the rules say.
But how do you actually play it? Because I was like, I don't think everybody plays that way. Because like I could thrust someone's cloak and if it flips up and touches their body, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to take that. Nor do I necessarily expect them to take
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I call it. Like if the shot goes through the cloak into me, I call it.
Um, in that context, what if blade doesn't reach you, but the cloak flaps up towards you, right? Like, because there's a lot of cloak draping. Or do you want
I mean,
blade to
if I
touch you?
like the blade has to. The cloak can't kill me. It's like the
Right.
blade
That's
has
what I'm
to.
asking. That's why I asked. So you need the cloak pinned against you via blade.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
and that's how people typically fight here
That's a
too.
nice flip into one. That's a cool way to
Yeah,
do it.
it's a good roll up. An alley oop.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
So you would definitely take things to the arm or fist if you got the cloak like directly
Yes,
wrapped over it.
yes,
Oh, well.
100%. It's illegal not to. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
I think
how I do.
I think there's a little bit more wiggle room with cuts than with thrusts. Like if someone stabs me in the arm, well, I've got a cloak on it, like I'm taking the arm. But unless the cut is like actually like pushing on my arm,
Mhm.
that's kind of a gray area.
Right.
Fair point. I don't think I've had a cut to my arm that was light enough or like kind of flappy enough that I didn't call it through the cloak. Because usually people like push and draw so you can feel
Yeah.
it. Obviously, if I can't feel it, it's hard to call.
Mhm.
So this is the fourth pass, and it looks like they're fighting Case.
Yeah, case. Initially, I thought it was dagger because Mo's sword got too thin and I couldn't see it.
Yeah, they both have a. Well,
Case.
no, Muhammad the Knight has a definitely a swagger.
His belt is so long, I'm worried he's gonna step on it.
Same.
I love it. He's a really good dude too. He's like very friendly, very sweet. I got to be his king's champion. It was an absolute pleasure.
Nice. It's Mohammed and Thomas of Effingham. Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mohammed's in the black. Thomas is in the chainmail.
Do you feel like, Rowan, that
Mhm.
the anxiety that you had felt from the last champs or your champs bout, kind of did you feel similar going into this particular event where you felt the
Yeah,
pressure
it
and
was
didn't sleep well?
exceptionally bad. It was so bad I wanted to lose just so I didn't
Mhm.
have to fight anymore.
And that was like the night before, or just all the lead up into it, like the full like multiple days.
Multiple days driving up there while I was there, it was really bad. I definitely need to work on that.
Yeah, I was just not trying to like uh, make you relive it. It's more like just kind
No,
of curious.
that's fine.
No.
I'm actually going to I'm intentionally going to set aside time to relive it on purpose to desensitize myself as best I
I was
can.
kind of figure out how to deal. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the drive up there was hard.
What part of the East Kingdom was this? Where was this event?
Quebec.
Oh man.
Quebec.
It's up there.
Yeah,
Was
near
that
Montreal.
like a 8-hour drive for you from Boston?
No, it's only 4 hours for me.
Okay.
Oh, that's so close comparatively.
That was
Yeah.
not the last pass.
Oh, my bad. I thought I counted 5.
If you want to like go to a different thing, that's really fine. But that was not the end.
Oh. Maybe they were doing it out of 7, or that last one was.
They refought the cloak fight.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was like, I counted 5 touches.
That's why there was 2 cloak fights that normally isn't
Got
done.
it. Got it. So this is the 5th pass.
Interesting seeing the longsword and dagger form.
I was gonna say, is he
Yeah.
fighting longsword and dagger?
Yeah.
Celestri, I don't want to butcher your name. Tazariel? Is that
Taser?
correct? And she was saying her the handle is.
Yeah, that name sounds super familiar. So like, we probably just, I don't know if we were like in a guild or something together, but
What game is it?
Mabinogi.
Sounds
like
like
an
sounds like an
old,
anime.
kinda, yeah. It's like an old Nexon like MMO. It's like anime, but it's based off of like Celtic mythology.
Whoa,
Oh, cool.
that's pretty
And
cool.
super fun game.
They really like that corner.
Yeah, right into the king and queen.
Yep.
I like that Remy's just like, I'll put my arm here. Hey, there's Trent.
Like AR.
Let's go,
And-
Trentus.
I wish they had reset so like at least they were backing up not towards the king and queen.
Yeah,
AR.
literally.
Which is nice. It's okay. Yeah, they did here. They kind of reset it.
Yeah. Rowan, have you fought both of these fighters much?
Yeah, a decent amount. Like, I guess it's been a while since I fought to Effingham, but I was trying to help Mohammed and his folks up in Quebec and like fight with them and train them and stuff. Mo doesn't really need my help, but like I
Is
try to
this
help his fighters as well.
yeah? Is this movement in character? Like, does Muhammad like to go forward? Thomas like to go back? Has that been your experience?
No, earlier fights with Mo, he was actually really snipey. Like he's very good at hitting people very far away. It's really nice.
Mm.
He's in the on the heavy field. He's our best spear fighter by far. He's very good
Mhm.
at it.
Nice.
I've at Gulf Wars I fought next to him with the spear, and he's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's
Mhm.
crazy fast, and like John was saying, like he's never seen a spear move that fast ever.
Yeah.
Um,
Was he at not this past Penzig, but the one prior?
yes,
I remember
I,
you were helping across the crossover crew. Like we went to their camp and hung out.
yeah,
The Canadians.
yeah, yes, absolutely, yes. He's been at every Penzik from what I understand.
Oh,
But Penzik, the last both years we're hanging over at Al Caracal in that whole group.
Was that their is that their like household?
Yeah, Al Caracal is their household, and they camp right across from Chalkman.
yeah.
Oh,
I remember
nice.
going
Okay.
over there,
Got it.
hanging out.
I like them a lot. Big fans. They're like rowdy and loud, but also extremely sweet. It's a good combo.
Is Reinhardt a part of that group too?
Reinhardt is like tangential. So Reinhardt is Montreal area, whereas
Okay.
Al Caracal and like Mo is actually Quebec City, which is even farther north. So Reinhardt's not in the same household, but they all hang out with each other.
Okay.
Reinhardt's household is Silvermane, like
That's
horse mane.
that's super cool. That's a super cool name for a household. We got
Would you?
Lydia fighting someone here.
What are you all talking about, Sal and Robert?
Oh, I
I
was
have no
just
idea.
bullshitting.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like
I
fight
was
related.
noticing that little dance that like Rowan did before we started fighting. I was like, what? When did? Because I didn't notice that happened. Like at Adult Swim, this is the first time I'm like noticing that.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's
Um,
their setup, if I remember correctly, right?
Are you talking about like
Yeah.
the 1 foot, other foot?
That's like
Yeah,
your.
I stole it from Miguel actually.
Oh, really?
MT stole it from me and then put it on steroids. Like if you watch Montana prep for a tournament
There's
now,
a
he's
whole
just
jig.
like pumping himself up, and I'm like, you are 54 years old. Calm down. Like, Jesus.
It's so crazy to me because I still remember the first time I ever fought you. Rowan it was in like a Rose tournament,
Yeah.
and Davius was like talking, and I was like, I'm gonna get murdered because Davius hyped you up real hard, and then you murdered the crap out of me. So
When
it's very very fitting.
when was this? Which
Oh, this was a while back.
I wish I
pre-COVID?
had better memory. Definitely pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Oh, you just triggered my memory of first fighting Rowan. And I think I was a cadet tourney way back in the day, probably like
That sounds
20,
right.
2016, 2017, maybe.
When you're little
Um,
babies.
I was a little baby. All I remember is that someone told me that you fought like Fiora.
Who's feet?
She's not active anymore. She was a white scarf in
There's a
Alphamark.
Mark.
Yeah. Was she active when you started Sal?
Nope.
Okay. She back do you know Will Paris? Do you know that
But
name?
yeah,
I love Will
I know
Ferrell.
the lore.
Yeah, she was Will Paris' student
Oh
and
yeah.
partner at some point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were married for a short time.
Yeah.
They were married.
hmm
Yeah.
She moved down here and then moved out to across the country from there.
hmm I don't, as far as I know, she doesn't fence much anymore, but she's like a pole
Mhm.
instructor.
Yep.
Nice.
Hasn't fenced in a long time. Yep, it was very good.
Um,
That's a different era. I remember that. That's when I first
Yeah.
started playing as well.
Mhm.
When Will was playing, and up in Ethelmark there was a bro. I don't remember their name. It's a stick player, very fast human.
Is your chat dead in your thing, or is it just not loading for me, Boomy?
No, as far as I can tell, it's working.
Okay. I don't know why it's.
Chat. Someone
Oh no, it's
someone
loading
said
now.
something. Oh, okay.
Sorry. I
So
think
maybe
it's broken.
second Jacob Martinson.
No.
So
I'm trying to think about their name. It's like a one-word name.
was a heavy fighter, you said?
Nope. Rapier fighter fought sword and stick. That was when I first started. So this is like
Oh.
12 years ago. And they were already like, they were a white scarf. They were like a known entity. I thought they were better than Will, and I thought both of them were like the
Whoa.
best out of Ethelmark at the
I
time.
wonder who that would have been.
Yeah, 12, 13 years ago at this point for me.
It wasn't Ludovic, was it?
No, that doesn't sound familiar either.
Hmm.
I'll give it a think. If I come up with a name, I'll message y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't super tuned into the fencing community then.
We were too close to each other.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
We were like, a lot.
Like it's bad.
Yeah.
Notice a
I was,
little
like,
bit at
so-
Adult Swim, and I was like, wait.
I was. Ooh, that looked rough.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, I
too
could
close.
tell it looked rough because I jumped up to see. I feel like I was so like space conscious, like at Adult Swim. I was like, I don't want to take up too much space because there's so many people here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
prefer.
I think it just looked worse because I was trying to dodge. Like it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I just got dramatic about it.
Yeah. It looks like you
I
both
always
like lunged
do.
into each other.
Yeah,
I always do. If I even like think I hit someone hard, I'm like, I gotta go hug them right now and make sure they're not make sure they're not mad at me.
I think
Nobody's
there's a,
funny.
generally speaking, this is of course I'm painting a broad stroke, but generally speaking, when you're fighting with known good fighters, it is like there's like acceptable amount of like, oh no, we exploded at each other and we just both did it at the same
Yeah.
time. Sorry, I hit you
100%.
hard. Like the handshake.
Yeah, if
it's like
I'm-
an agreed upon social thing.
Yeah. If I get mad, it's because I'm mad I didn't block it.
Mm.
It's my fault. I don't know why my dagger turned that far. So my shell's like towards the ground. It's never like that.
Mhm.
That's not normal.
You mean statically, like here in guard?
See how like my shell's like pointing at
Yeah.
the dirt?
Yeah.
That's not typical for me. Usually it's like pointing to my left.
Yeah,
Maybe
it should
slightly
point
down,
outward a
but
little bit
not like
more.
this.
I agree. It's very supinated.
Maybe I was throwing a lot of like weird low angle shots, so you were trying to.
Maybe. I feel like you threw a lot of weird over my left arm shots. Like rolled over.
I do throw a lot of weird shots.
Rolling over my dagger is a great way to kill me. Like I'm pretty vulnerable to it.
Salve had their blade low for the majority of this back half of the fight, and I
Mhm.
think you should have been covering with your dagger.
Yeah.
Your
that's what
dagger's
John
like
said too.
in a like covering, like it
Exactly
almost
what
made
John
it here,
said. Like you're almost there. It goes back.
but then you're like
Yes.
you're just like preemptively covering a high line
I know.
when they're threatening the low line down the center.
I get stabbed in the belly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Cover the
Exactly
immediate
correct.
danger.
Yes.
I think that would have been tactically a good adjustment.
Agreed. You're not alone in that advice.
Blew right through.
Yeah.
I feel like you get a little bit of like you Rowan get like excited to brawl. You're like I'm gonna
Yeah.
fucking hit you, and you're good at hitting people. But some of the defenses, the holes in defenses, get shown a
Which-
little bit more there.
Correct.
I think that matches my energy well because I also just want to like throw the fuck
Yeah, y'all-
down. Like
y'all
anytime
coming
I
in with,
fight,
like,
I'm just like I
the-
want to throw
yeah,
down.
You want to throw down? Yeah, that's it.
God damn it. Yeah, I've been told that I'm predictable because I'm always going to go forward. So that's something I'm trying to fix and try to add in a bit better counter punching and stuff like that.
I feel like that's something all of us do. Is like all of us want to go forward.
Mhm.
Generally don't do the counterpunch game that much.
Well,
Boomy used to only counterpunch. It was
Yeah.
pretty severe.
Me?
Boomy and Celestria, honestly, were like, yeah, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, me. Okay.
It
It's
was
true.
pretty significant. Like,
Yeah.
Boomy would run away, Celestia would run away only,
Hmm.
and took forever to
Have
kill
y'all
them
have
if
y'all
you could get there.
seen my champs fight with Donovan?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Running
That
away
is
Yes.
like
for 1,000
peak
years.
Go backwards.
when I
Skipping
was doing
backwards
that.
for an hour.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's like peak before I knew how to like advance.
What are these feet pics? Boomy, what? Boomy.
Fundamental footwork guy. What?
Oh yeah,
Boomy. That's not the
That's
pictures.
quite the thumbnail.
yeah.
More like the toenail.
Nice.
I wanted
So,
to
yeah,
pull
you used
up.
to only run backwards. Now you're pretty aggressive forward. Honestly, my fights with you at Rose's at Gulf Wars last year,
Mhm.
I was shocked when you went forward.
Yeah, I developed
I was blown away.
I
Just Loki, just chilling.
Tora definitely beat that into me
Mhm.
of
Nice.
like how
Nice,
to
nice,
like
nice.
because we're in a limited space. It's like if you touch the back end, you die. I'm like great. That
Mhm.
is
Uh-huh.
that
That's
is a
cool to do
good
that.
way to make that happen.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can find low cover. This goes for everybody in chat, as well as folks here. Let me see if I can find. I just want to show how to cover low guard with your dagger, like the starting stance.
Hmm.
All right, yeah, this is a pretty good mirror matched, where the dagger comes across and is the angle makes it look like it's above hip height. It should be roughly hip height, such that if their sword comes up toward the center line, it gets funneled to the outside. Right, if my blade went up, it would catch the dagger at some point because it fully goes across his body, and the angle shoves my blade so that it goes underneath and outside of his body.
Mhm.
Hopefully that makes sense. And so this is for everybody. Next time you go fight somebody in a low line, low guard, try to put your dagger such that it is pointed downward, it is pointed across your body such that it is matching the width of your body. And then when they bring their blade up, it catches your dagger and goes out. It leaves your legs vulnerable, but it prevents all killing blows, if that makes sense. And that's definitely what I would recommend as kind of a starting point for defending your low.
I like
So next time you see Sal,
it.
do that.
Get your tip down.
You'll
it.
see me do that against them when we were fighting.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, my
That is-
dagger keeps going to a default space instead of actually tracking correctly. That's something else I'm working on too. Cedric sent me a text, by the way. Yeah, East Kingdom, Northern Region, Stone March, New Hampshire.
Oh, there you go.
Mm.
He says via Drakenwald and via Antir.
I gotta
No,
get up that
he's
way.
in New Hampshire now.
Yeah.
Sorry for blanking on that. Like my brain.
It seems like there's a ton of really good fencers up in like the New England region, like Massachusetts, New Hampshire.
Or like Natalia and Maggie and Robert all are.
Oh yeah, Bobby Tights. Is that
Oh,
Robert?
Bobby Tights. They got so
No.
fucking good.
Yeah.
This last
See,
Pentacle's
there's
like,
another.
God,
There's another
damn,
Robert.
so good.
I forget his. I don't know.
There's
It's like
some, I have a video of Bobby and Mo fighting if you want to see those guys.
A recent one?
From Champs.
Oh, from Champs,
Bobby
gotcha.
got to the semifinals.
Let me take a look.
I have a video of Bobby and me fighting somewhere.
We can pull that up too. It's up to you guys. Yeah, the videos we have of me fighting at Champs is a good video of choking. Or not even choking, but like being so anxious that it's not functional.
Mhm.
So the middle one, so
Mhm.
third
No.
down,
Bobby.
left,
Bobby.
yeah.
Me.
Yeah, let's watch this one. I want to watch this.
His footwork is so clean.
Who Bobby? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
His sword is very, very light too. I never ever held it, but like he did some movements and I'm like, how the heck do you do that? And I held his sword and it weighs nothing. Nothing. The lightest thing in the world. Crazy.
Yeah, single cross guard. Not a lot of back weight
Mhm.
either.
Yeah. But still able to deliver cuts and stuff. It's pretty good.
It's got that single trigger, yeah. Very light. I would be terrified of my hands. I full
Yeah,
cover my
same.
hands when I fight just because I can't. Like, there's no way for someone to unintentionally break my knuckles.
Punch your
Yeah.
hand.
Like-
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no hand protection.
Absolutely
I would wear hand protection if I
brutalized
didn't have the
hand
guards I
there.
had.
Mm-hmm.
I love my guard because it covers my hand like almost completely.
Mhm.
Same.
Same.
I have a Pappenheimer on my end. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, me also as well.
Oof.
When I customized these swords that I have now from Castile, I said I don't want to have to parry my hands.
What a sequence. I'll watch this.
Yeah, it's wild.
We're going to go to this.
Roll up.
Watch it slow
Bobby's
down.
arms in conjunction with his body are so crazy. Like he's just so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like they've got positive ape index by a bit.
I think he does. I think he does.
Yeah.
That's a Bobby question.
Bobby, do you have a positive ape index?
Bobby, what's your ape index?
You know, an ape index compendium would be a fun study. Honestly,
Boomy,
like
Boomy,
all
what's
known world
yours?
fencers who are willing to let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
know
plus
mine is
2-inch.
positive.
Yours
You
is
said-
positive?
Mine is
Cheater.
positive.
Cheater.
Sal has to be like plus like 4 inches, right?
Jesus.
I'd have to check. I checked I went climbing
Mhm.
like last month and I checked it there, but I haven't checked since. I'll have to check.
That attack in first from Bobby looked like it was going for torso, but it just went past.
Yeah, I went passe.
Rolled up.
Boomy, did you say your
He's stuck in his medallion.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's full stuck.
Is
In there.
he? Nice.
Boomy, did you say you're +2?
I'm plus 2. Yeah, I have a 6'6",
Yeah.
middle finger to middle finger,
You're all cheating.
wingspan.
Boomy,
I'm
I've told
0.
people that your proportion, like you and I are built the same. You're just like 20% like bigger than I am.
I think that's pretty true. It's not that incorrect.
Larger.
You have, I think, better strength to weight ratio.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Or at least for reverse Nordic, we've already established that.
Oh
one.
yeah, fair. Well, I think that's probably just a leverage situation.
So you're +2 inches as well, Robert?
Yeah. I am.
What the hell? guys?
6 foot wingspan, 5'10" height.
Do you know
Boomy,
yours,
are
Rowan?
you?
Mine's 0. Mine is 0. I'm at 0.
You got the
Fine.
basic
That's
standard human
normal.
model.
You're not negative.
I'm like,
Yeah, you're.
I'm
you
a
were-
fucking Toyota Camry. Like, there's nothing going on
of
here.
ape indexes.
Average height, average build, average. Boring.
Take that, nerd. Hit you with my +4.
I know,
Damn,
that's
bro.
brutal.
That's
Dare
crazy.
you.
Wait, you tell
I don't
you're,
think it's a 4. I don't
you're-
think it's a 4 now, but
you're 6'3", right? 6'4".
I am
How's-
6. I am 6.
6 flex.
Are you seriously only 6 feet tall? What?
Yeah, because his arms are 6'4". That's why it's confusing. Stupid.
can't-
I'm so angry right now.
That's
I
crazy.
can't see where the blade is in. I just see the medallion moving. Y'all see this? It's like the attack goes, and the blade
yeah.
disappears to
It
me.
just
I
spins
just
the
can't
medallion.
see it. I just see it. You see the medallion just whoop. There it goes up and left.
Is it that streak across the shoulder? Bobby's left shoulder?
Yeah, I can see the streak
That's
here,
his
but I don't know where.
sword.
Like, I don't know if Bobby's getting
The
hit or not. I
medallion went-
cannot tell. at all.
Yeah.
The medallion flipped up to his right shoulder.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah, drag back across. I think that was
That's the-
just. Yeah.
That's where you get bonus points. You hit the medallion, you get bonus points.
Hit the medallion, flicked the medallion to the left, and tip came back to the right. I couldn't tell the forward presence.
Wild.
So I just checked. I do actually have a +4. Yeah.
That's
Hey, I binked it. I feel pretty good
So
about
mad.
like judging that on people. A lot of
I
your +4, I would wager, comes from the broadness of your shoulders.
probably.
You have like relatively broad shoulders.
hmm
I know a few folks like that where they're like
Hmm.
between +4 and +6. It's very impressive, and it's mostly how broad their shoulders are relative to their height.
I can't even imagine being like a +6. That's insane.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Yeah.
that's an insane wingspan.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
a guy who used to fight here who recently just started coming back. Who's a white scarf in the area after like many years. But him and I have the same wingspan, but he's a solid like 8 and something like that inches shorter than me. It's very.
God.
I'm like, wow,
What?
you are proper
my
monkey.
God.
Around. Yeah,
That's like your arms are hanging down to your knees.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
just-
like,
that's a
actually.
lot.
Dragging the ground.
which is
Get that
great,
man on a
which is
rock wall.
fantastic for our sport.
Yeah.
Yes, that's ideal for our sport.
Mhm.
Like John was talking about, if he could build the perfect fencer, he'd have them have short little legs, a really long torso, positive index, and skinny. And like that's his idea.
Yeah.
Yep. Essentially, Mike. Is what he's saying.
Yeah, that's exactly
He's just
it.
trying to recreate his brother.
I think I don't remember if Mike has a positive ape index though. He might be 0. So you could augment Mike by stretching his arms out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
we'll just stretch him.
Fucking Toyota
Dislocate his
Camry ass
shoulder
arms.
again.
All
When
right,
MT
all
gets
right.
off a work call, I'm gonna freaking measure his ape index. I'm angry.
You do it. Figure it out.
Can't be surrounded by you freaks.
That is a great question. I might put that out there. Be like, hey y'all, here's the measurements for ape index. I'm kind of curious. What is yours? Mine is this.
Known world ape index.
Yeah, I'm just like out of
Yeah.
curiosity, just put it out there and just see what comes back. If you
Once
want to
he-
respond or respond anonymously or whatever. Because I think it'd be
Yeah.
interesting. Like if you paired that with the level of award that you have,
Yeah.
that I bet you there's a correlation. It's the same
Award
like
or-
height is correlated.
Or just tournament wins. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you look at their prowess and their ape index would be a cool combo.
Yep. That's another one. Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that.
Hmm.
Chat, thank you for hanging out. That was fun. I want to do this again sooner than later. There's a lot more footage to look through, and I intend to do
Yes.
one for Armored as well. Folks in Discord, thank you for hanging out with
Absolutely.
chat and hanging out in Discord and going over footage. It was fun. Chat, have a good night. We will catch you later. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Doing whatever it is y'all gonna do.
Mhm.
Good night, chat.